Welcome to episode 3 of the Yip Strickler Experience, and today's guest became YouTube golf famous almost a year ago after winning $100,000 after hitting a hole-in-one over Bryson DeChambeau's house in only 5 shots. Fast forward to November of this year, where he won another $100,000 thanks to his golf skills, this time for winning the inaugural Reebok Invitational, where he beat Grant Horvat and Bryson straight up, didn't even need any candy. Yes, the biggest name currently in the game of net golf, none other than Jimmy Elliott. Jimmy, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
Jimmy, I'm going to hop right into it, okay? If you haven't watched the Reebok Invitational, hop over to Bryson's channel. You can watch it right now. Come back to me. Do whatever you want. I highly recommend it. But I have to ask the question that I'm assuming everyone out there is dying to ask. Was this the first time you ever wore a Reebok golf shirt?
It was. Yes, that was the first
I mean,
time
you don't see them too
wore one.
often.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you'd have a better chance of spotting Bigfoot at my prestigious private golfing club before spotting anyone wearing Reebok golf apparel. But I'll tell you what, Reebok, I am actively looking for sponsors in 2026. So, if you want all the members at my prestigious private golfing club and every other prestigious private golfing club in the country to know about you, I mean, Bigfoot's going to know about Reebok golf when I'm done with it. Just slide into my DMs. Anyway, we got off the rails real quick here, Jimmy. Jimmy, take us back to almost a year ago. How did you end up being selected to attempt the hole-in-one over Bryson's house?
Yep. Son just put out an Instagram post saying that he was filming a video in Dallas, and apply if you want to. And so buddy sent it to me. I applied, and they ended up picking me out of about 6,000 or 7,000 entrants.
So did you know ahead of time, like before you went, exactly what the challenge was or what you were doing, what you were playing for?
No, I had no idea. So essentially, they told me to meet them at a certain location the morning, at 9:30 in the morning. My wife thought I was getting kidnapped. And so she's following me on Find My Friends. And so I pull up to Bryson's house, or they take me to Bryson's house, and I get out, and they are basically then saying, hey, we're gonna attempt the hole-in-one shot over the house. And so I didn't know the time limit. I didn't know that doing it for $100,000. I didn't know any of that. So that video was pure reaction there.
So, okay, I was just going to say, because if it wasn't, you're an unbelievable actor, because you seemed shocked when he was like, we're playing for 100K, doing all the things. I'm always a little leery when I watch these YouTube videos that everything is, a little staged, but I guess not on Bryson's channel. That is nice to know. Okay, so after you snatched $100,000 after making the ace on your 5th attempt, let's fast forward to November. When did you know that you would be competing in the Reebok Invitational?
About 7 to 10 days prior. So call it November 10th, somewhere in there. They had reached out early November asking if I was available on the 19th, and I cleared the schedule. I was available, and they reached out about a week after that and said, hey, it's a go. This is what we're doing. So this time I knew what I was doing prior to getting to the course, compared to the first video was a complete shock. So I had about 7 to 10 days to stress, and also get my clubs back out of the garage and start swinging them again.
So you were originally part of the plan. Bryson wanted Jimmy, the dude that made a hole-in-one over his house in this. There wasn't like another YouTube golf celebrity that backed out last minute. It was always Jimmy.
I don't know those details. I just know that they gave me the call, and I said yes. And so that was. I'm not sure exactly if I was their first choice or not, but I was glad that they called.
So you show up, you're playing at Gentle Creek Country Club in beautiful Prosper, Texas. Have you played this course before?
I'd played it once back in 2019, and I think I shot 1,000.
So
Yeah.
before the
Bad
golf
memories.
starts, all the participants, you all meet up and you have a little round table handicap discussion. And for those that haven't watched it yet, the competitors are naturally our friend Jimmy Elliott here. Then we have the German hammer, Martin Borgmeyer, Jimmy's cartmate, Grant Horvat, the Bryan brothers, both Wes and George, and Bryson. And, the handicap discussions start. They started out with Martin. They, put him right at minus 10 to start. And the next person they were going to talk about was you, Jimmy. And one of the first things you said was, "Oh, wait a second, I should be getting the most strokes. I don't play every day." And then we got into your recent scores. You said you were, somewhere between a 72 and a 78. I mean, you were fishing for two off the first. I mean, what was your mindset going into the handicap discussion?
I was still a little overwhelmed at that moment. I watched these guys on YouTube, Bryson on TV, and it's so you're kind of starstruck a little bit. Two
Oh,
off the
could
first,
imagine.
yeah, two off the first was more just a joke for myself. I didn't actually want two off the first. We just always do that whenever we play at home.
I got it.
So it was more for the buddies back home watching it. Frankly, Devin was kind of my goal going into the day. I mean, Bryson is phenomenal, and so we're playing off of him, right? Everyone's playing off of Bryson. So as a good negotiator, you start high and then bring yourself back to the middle. And so that was kind of the tactic there. But it did make me feel a lot better that the handicap committee threw out seven off the bat, and then you kind of just argue a little bit here and there to try to get a few more, and then meet back in the middle where you want to be.
I understand how it
Yeah.
works. Trust me, this is what I do for a fake living. Um, Now, obviously, we got Martin at 10 under to start. Jimmy, you're at 7. They placed Grant at 5 under. George started at 1 under, and Wes and Bryson both started at even par. And just to make this clear to all the Yippomaniacs out there, I would like everyone to know that Jimmy Elliott is a Yippomaniac himself. Yes, when I started digging into Jimmy after he won, I saw he was following me on the Instagram. So obviously, thank you very much for supporting my fight to save the game of net golf. And I know you're familiar with my work a little bit. Are you familiar with the top 5 industries slash careers for sandbagging rats?
I am. I think mine is number one. Is that correct? Uh,
Oh, it is. Well, we'll start at
yeah.
number 5. Number 5 is, of course, attorneys. Number 4, insurance rats. Number 3, NFL quarterbacks, minus Josh Allen and Jared Goff. Number 2 are real estate. And number 1 is what now, Jimmy?
Financial advisors,
Or certified
certified
financial
financial professional
planners, which I
planners. Yeah, yeah,
believe that just now,
yeah.
obviously, this conversation just took a little bit of a dark turn. But like I said, I'm not really too suspicious of you being a sandbagging rat quite yet. Let's just get right to hole number 1. Okay. Speaking of being a sandbagging rat, you tee off and you smoke one right down the middle. Bryson calls you a sandbagger. And this course, I mean, it's you guys are playing from all the way back, right?
We are. I think it was tipped out.
So that's 7,317 yards. We're talking 75.9 course rating with a 139 slope. I mean, that's a 7,300 yards. That's a big boy course. And I noticed quite early on that the distance wasn't going to be a factor for you. How far you carry the driver there, big boy?
I don't know if I carry it very far. I have a lot of weight to throw in the ball or at the ball, and so that's kind of what It's a hit the ground run type of shot.
Okay,
But
I like it.
it's I don't know. We're I don't know carry distance. I hit it at 285, 290 somewhere in there.
Well, trust me, for all the dads out there with dad bods, you made us proud, okay? Because
Oh, thank you.
all those
Yeah.
other hunks that were out there, like, definitely made us proud. So even though you had a fantastic tee shot, you did miss the green on hole number 1. And I mean, there was a lot of antics going on. You're trying to settle in here. You got Giant Martin that tells Grant Horvat to shut the fuck up. Was that legit or was that just YouTube golf theater?
You know, I must have been locked in. I did not remember that at all. So when I saw that on the video, I was like, wow. And then Martin's talking to me and Grant in the cart, and I'm like paying attention to him, and I have zero recollection of having that memory one bit. So I think I was just locked in, probably frustrated. I made a bogey on the first hole, kind of wondering if that's how it was going to be all day. And I looking back on it, I think it was in jest, but I have zero recollection of that actual of that
Well,
memory.
you clearly forgot about it real quick because hole number 2, you bounced back with a wonderful birdie. And, I kind of enjoyed the interactions between you and your partner, Grant Horvat, throughout. And I really do feel like he kind of helped you throughout the process. Now, for those of you that don't know, Grant's dad was actually the pro at Groseal Country Club in beautiful Groseal, Michigan, like 25 years ago. Okay. So Grant grew up on, when he was a baby, he lived on Groseal. Now, if you're not familiar with, Groseal and you've never heard of it, it's just this island where, I mean, everyone's not rich, but they all act like they are. And back when Grant was a baby, there was this active DTE power plant that's in the Trenton Channel, which comes right off the Detroit River. Okay. And I'm not kidding you, to this day, all the grown men that live on the west side of the island are all like these 6'4" gangly dudes. And everyone on the east side are 5'7" and below. There's nothing in between. You will not find a 5'11" person on Groseal. Now, anyways, I did feel like Grant talking to you throughout was helping you. How was your interactions with Grant, and do you think he helped you win the Reebok Invitational?
100%. Grant was phenomenal to me all day, from little things like turning the GoPro on and turning it off. So, things that I'm not used to doing since I don't film YouTube content, um, to just the encouragement all day. I got home and I told my wife, I was like, if I ride with anybody else, I don't think I win. Grant we meshed really well. At least I thought so. I hope he thinks the
It
same
seemed like
thing.
it.
But
Oh, yeah, it seemed
yeah,
like it.
and so he was great. And I mean, I've told everyone, I mean, I credit him with being able to stay calm, and just kind of rooting me on, even though he was chasing me towards the end as well. He was, I mean, phenomenal to be with all day.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that really rubbed me the wrong way about him was that he was wearing a white belt the entire time. Um, on the front nine, you did shoot a 36, three birdies, three bogeys, even par, sitting in a wonderful position. But you got this two-time major champion Bryson DeChambeau that made five birdies on the front, and now he's only sitting two shots back, and it really right off it's feeling like a two-man race here. But as we look at the rest of the leaderboard through nine holes, let's see, you were tied with Martin at 7 under. This is obviously with the candy. Grant is sitting three shots back at 4. Should have said Bryson first. He's only 2 shots back. Wes is at 1 under, and George is even par, 7 back. How are you feeling through 9 holes?
I was feeling good. I was playing well that day, especially for me. I was hitting the ball decently well. I mean, I was happy with it. I was very nervous. I mean, I had given up 5 of my 7 on the front 9, right? And so now you got a 2-shot lead with, like you said, a 2-time major champion who had just tracked down Matt Fitzpatrick in the Ryder Cup on the back 9, being 5 down. So, he's got that dog in him. And it's, you're just kind of like, I had to focus on just my shots, knowing that he was probably gonna make birdies. And so I don't know if this is in the video or not, but Grant and I were talking on 10, and we were like, "I think we gotta get to 9 under." I think that's the number. Because if he just shot 5 under on the front, there's a good chance he's shooting close to that on the back as well. I did. I brought my own snacks, and so I did sneak those in. I'm glad the camera didn't show me taking out my Invisalign to eat those snacks. But
I was gonna say your teeth look wonderful
oh,
today.
well, thank you. Yeah, yeah, it's the Invisalign. It works. No free ads, but the Invisalign's working.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, ate a snack and decided, just let's keep going. And again, Grant's he was that's going back to the last question. Grant's so great about that. I mean, he just can talk smoothly, where he kind of gets your mind off of the actual golf, and then we were just kind of chatting about different videos coming up.
All right, so we get to hole 10, and you have a tricky putt, and I don't know how far it is. Talk us through your putt on hole 10. It's a birdie putt. Let me hear it.
Yeah, so I hit a pretty atrocious wedge into that green. And so I got about 40 feet. It's a kind of an up the hill, then down the hill. It kind of slides, but it slides to the right. And I'm a left-handed putter, hit right-handed, putt left-handed. And so as a lefty, it looked pretty good. And so I hit that putt, and originally I thought I left it out to the left, and it kind of started losing speed as it went up the hill, kind of died out right. And that one felt good. And I was, I think that might have been one of the first moments where they were like, Jimmy might be an issue. I think I was just kind of hanging around and they were waiting for me to blow up. And I don't know if that's true. I'm I'm putting
Well, it
words in
felt
their
like
mouth,
it from all
but
the commentary.
yeah. So, um, and so that one felt really good. Uh, I hit the putt I wanted and it went in.
Well, I'm glad you talked about how you putt left-handed and you swing right-handed. It was next on the list. But after you make this birdie putt, there was that guy chasing you, Bryson, that had a 25-footer to match you. What did it feel like when he drained it right on top of yours?
Yeah, I wasn't super pumped. I was, it got me pretty nervous, even more nervous because I was like, well, now he's 6 under through 10. Wesley made a great joke of like, hey, thanks for inviting us to, your break the course record video. I thought I mean, that one landed well. Um, yeah, it kind of took a little bit of the wind out of the sails, but then at the same time, just being a competitor, you're like, all right, let's just get after it and go make another one. That's the goal. Um, so, it was like a mix of emotions where you're like, "Dang it," but also like, "Let's get after it and go."
Well, the emotions are probably swinging pretty hard on hole number 11. Could you mind telling us exactly what Bryson did on that par 3?
Yeah, he missed the green long right. I think it got a bad kick because it didn't look like from the tee box, it didn't look like the ball would have ended up where it actually ended up. And so he, I guess, left his first chip short, and then the second chip went a little bit long, and just didn't end up making that putt for bogey. But that that hole for me was, like an internal I I have, putting, nightmares is what I guess you could call it, and so I am not a very good lag putter. It's just never been a strength of my game, and so I have that first putt and it goes by about 10, 12 feet, and I was like, "Of course." I mean, just naturally, that's just what I'm gonna do, and so making that par putt coming back was a big kinda just like a momentum boost internally for me of, like, being like, "Okay, maybe this is it." There were probably about 3 or 4 shots throughout the day that I was like, "Maybe this could be my day," and then that putt for par on 11 was one of them.
Now, by this time, Martin has kind of started taking himself out of the equation in terms of being able to win this thing. He's spraying it all over the planet. And on hole 11, I have to admit, look, I don't ever root for anyone to play bad golf. I want everyone to play the best golf. It's way more fun when everyone is playing well in a group. However, Bryson wasn't exactly playing for himself. He was playing for this fan, Alex. So if Bryson won the 100K, and this was actually pretty interesting. In the beginning of the episode, Bryson's like, I could give the 100,000 to charity, but I'd rather give it to this Alex dude for some reason. I don't know. Wild comment there, Bryson. And I don't know what it was. This Alex guy was really getting under my skin. Saw him like, I felt like every time someone would miss a putt, he was like fist pumping, maybe inside, but I could just see the reactions. And I felt he had a lot of just negative vibes he was bringing out. Was there anybody talking trash about this Alex guy off camera?
No, not that I heard of. I didn't hear, any negative things about Alex. He was put in a pretty tough spot because he's rooting for one individual, and against 5 other ones, and I don't know about you, that's not my personality, and so I don't know if I could have done it. I thought he handled it really well. Couple times we chatted with him, he was a nice dude.
Well, now I feel like a jerk. Alex, I'm so sorry that I couldn't stand your guts during that YouTube video. But if you subscribe to me, slide into my DMs on Instagram, I will send you a Yip Strickler ball marker. I feel so bad. They're pretty sweet. They got a boot stomping out a sandbagging rat. It doesn't get any better than that. Alex, I do apologize, but I'm willing to give you a gift. I hope you accept my apology. Anyways, let's get to hole 12 where you and Bryson both make pars, and then we get to hole 13, the absolute turning point of this entire video. And you could see the players leading into hole 13. They started talking about it. It's a little bit of a gimmicky hole. It's a par 5. You have to hit your tee shot, and your second shot, it seems like you have to hit it through a gap that's the size of a whale's vagina. And obviously whales' vaginas are huge, but not on the golf course. It is a tight little spot. And Bryson, well, he kind of got off the rails, hit a poor tee shot, chipped through, had to chip back again, tried hitting a 300-yard shot over the giant trees. It was pretty obvious he was going to make a big number, and this was really the time where you could take advantage and extend your lead. However, you also did not hit a good tee shot. Would you mind talking us through hole 13?
Yeah, yeah. So you're right. It's kind of a goofy hole, in the sense of like there's a landing spot right after the fact, knowing right is dead, and the miss off the tee would have been left. I did get lucky that my ball stayed in bounds or out of the hazard by an inch or two. So all that was happening with Bryson happened before I was deciding, am I going to try to advance the ball or chip out? And so um, it it was a shock, and so I was like, okay, I think he's hitting 5 or 6 across at that point, so I decided to chip out, and that was it wasn't good. It was just a bad chip out. So it goes through the fairway, and so you hear Grant and I talking, I'm gonna have to hit this slinging hook around these trees. And that's what we talked about. Just kind of like out loud, like he goes, "Oh, I think you're gonna have to hook this." Well, I get behind the ball and I just see out of bounds right. And I was like, if this thing doesn't hook, now I'm absolutely toast. And I have an affinity for not doing what I try to do. And so if I was gonna hook it, it was probably just gonna go right. And so I um I decide to go over the trees, and it was a questionable move, and I think it shocked Grant because it's not what we just chatted about, but, and it barely got over the trees. Looking back on it, I didn't think it was like, I knew it was close, but looking back, I was like, "Goodness gracious, that was a bad decision." Those trees were a lot closer than I thought, but luckily, the ball got over the trees, and I hit, one of my better shots in that wedge shot to about 4 feet, to make par.
Yes, you got up into how far were you away on that wedge shot?
It was about 70 yards.
Just a ho hum up and down from 70 yards. That was absolutely filthy. I mean, so now Bryson made a 9. Okay, Bryson probably hasn't made a 9 in, I don't know, 9 years. So, mm, excuse me, we'll edit that one out.
That was pretty
Actually,
good.
that one
That
might
one might
stay.
stay. That was
That one
pretty
might
good.
stay. That
That
one
was
might
pretty good.
stay. Excuse me. I'm such an idiot. All right. So you get to 14, you make another par. Okay. You're one under through 14 holes. You have a 5-shot lead. Your closest competitor is your partner, Grant. Now, there is Mr. George Bryan, who's getting hot at this time, making quite a few birdies. And I don't know, this George Bryan guy there's something about him. His like, aw shucks attitude just cracks me up. I dare anyone out there to try this challenge. Drink 10 Coors Lights and take an edible and watch a Bryan Brothers show. If you don't laugh at everything George Bryan says, I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to happen. He just absolutely kills me. It reminds me of one of my best friends and also the wealthiest member at my prestigious private golfing club, Mr. Jeff Brooks. Anyways, you really never gave these guys much of a chance going down the stretch. Okay, you got to, I believe it was hole 15. Okay, you did miss the green right up next to the bunker. You got a little chip shot, not much to work with. You played it smart. Wes Bryan is probably still talking about how smart you were to hit that shot. He was very impressed. You did make a bogey. So now, Grant's only 4 back. George is 5 back. 3 to go. Are you feeling any nerves? What's going on in your head?
Yeah, definitely feeling nerves. I think I was more nervous about what the collapse would look like at that point, which is not what you want in your head, especially at the top of the backswing, right? You're like, yeah, what if I miss this one? But it was a lot of just get it in the house. I was telling Grant, I was like, I don't want this round to end because I'm having a blast and it's just so much fun, but I also want it to end. I need to get this thing over with, get it into the clubhouse. And so, made a few guidey swings coming in. But yeah, once I hit the drive on, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, but once I hit the drive on 18 and it wasn't out of bounds or it wasn't in the water, I was like, okay, I think I'm okay. And that's when I could kind of start to enjoy it a little.
Well, for someone that's no good at lag putting, according to yourself, you were lag putting like, I mean, you were wonderful down the stretch. There was a couple, I could feel you like when you're like, oh, slow down. And it
Yeah,
slows down a foot away from the hole
yeah.
every single time. Your lag putting was definitely on point. And I mean, the dust settles. you're the champion. You've beat Bryson DeChambeau, a two-time major champion, straight up. You beat Grant Horvat, Mr. YouTube Golf himself, straight up. I mean, beating Martin straight up's not that big of a deal. I mean, look, to be honest, I actually have recently beat Martin in something. He doesn't even know about it yet. The video's not coming out to the spring, but don't you worry. When it comes out, I will be sure to let you know about it, Jimmy, and everyone else that I beat this Martin guy at something. I'm going to let everyone know. Now, you did shoot the same score as a former PGA Tour champion, Wes Bryant. I mean, the only guy that got you straight up was George, and he needed to drain a 25-footer on the 18th to do so. You were so solid, hitting every fairway, not every fairway, but you know what I mean. You were keeping it in play. You avoided trouble, and, you know, you get this giant check, which unfortunately, Jimmy doesn't have the check with him today because he's got it, you know, displayed in his office, bragging to everybody that shows up. But his check is the exact same date as mine. November the 19th was a special day for cool guys getting big checks. I'm going to say that much. You got the trophy. What'd you do to celebrate?
Well, I had a couple of my buddies were there. They knew what I was doing, and so they showed up, and so we hung out for a little bit afterwards, and kind of just like recaps the round. But unfortunately, I am a oh, this is not unfortunately. I am fortunately a dad of three kids. Unfortunately, my youngest had been throwing up all day, and so dealing with that, and then my two older ones threw up in the middle of the night that night. So there wasn't a lot of celebrating. It was a lot of cleaning up throw up and doing doing laundry and then waking up and going to work. So that's really, it's not a fun celebration story, I'll tell you that, but it was reality of the quote unquote everyday man of the
That's what
Reebok
happens when you're a big
Invitational.
family man, Jimmy. I know I'm going through it right now.
Yeah.
The flu B we got going on in my house makes me wish we'd have done some plan B, 14, 11. And I'm just kidding. I would never do that. Mama Strickler would hate that joke, Jimmy. She would kill me if she heard me say that joke. Don't tell Mama Strickler I said that. Anyways, you were saying like a couple of your buddies show up. So I know you're from Texas. You're pretty close to the area. Where are you from?
Yep. So I live in Fort Worth, and so it was hour and a half drive for me. Woke up early, got out there early. I made sure I was not going to be late to showing up, and then hung out with them for a little bit, and then drove back home. So
Nice.
nothing too crazy. Yeah, nothing too crazy.
All right. Well, look, everyone in the net golf community is proud of you for taking down these. I mean, it's pretty remarkable. I mean, something like this may never happen again. This is almost as remarkable as me predicting the winners of the Barstool Classic Championship weeks in advance. I mean, what are the chances that this could happen? Either way, this is going to be our closing segment called Shooting from the Hip with Yip, where I'm just going to be rapid fire questioning you. You said it yourself during the golf event. Martin looks like he was created in a lab, which bears the question. Does Martin utilize the RuPaul Schwanz tuck every time he wears those shorts? What's he doing with that thing? Martin, the people have to know, because if you're doing the RuPaul Schwanz tuck and you're sitting out on the golf, I mean, if everything's proportional, I'm just saying, I feel like it's a valid question. Jimmy, I didn't think you were going to answer it. You're a nice person. I like that. What's your lowest round of all time?
Lowest round of all time is a 67.
Where was that at? Rivercrest Country Club? That is the prestigious private golfing club you belong to? Is that true? I'm
It
such a
is,
good
yeah.
fake journal. I am so good at this fake journalism. It's unbelievable. Following the Reebok Invitational, I'm assuming your golf game had a little bit of a letdown afterwards. What did you shoot on your next round after the Reebok Invitational?
Since.
You see, Jimmy, that was
Yeah,
totally a trap question
yeah,
where I was going to catch you saying you shot this, and I was going to say, well, Jimmy, I went to my favorite app in the world, Straight to the Good, and I noticed you didn't post your score. But see this, guys?
yeah.
Jimmy Elliott is not a sandbagging rat. He is just a yippomaniac that is dedicated to protecting the game of net golf just as much as I am. Jimmy, that was... You nailed that answer. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
I mean, I
This could
wish
have
I would have played since. I just haven't. Yeah,
This
I
could
just
have went a
haven't
lot
played.
of different ways if you admitted I have like 5 next questions I was prepared to hit you with, but you did it. You answered absolutely perfectly. Let's see. How long did it take to play this round in a sixsome with cameraman, and how long was that?
See, I think it was about 5.5. So just like your normal public course on a Saturday, is all it
Oh,
was.
awful. Yeah, just like your normal public course on a Saturday. No,
That's a
thank
terrible
you.
joke. Cut that one out.
Well, no, that was perfect, Joe. We don't got, hey, we're family men, Jimmy. We don't have time for that. That's why we belong to prestigious private golfing clubs. 4 hours, in and out, in and out.
In
Time
and
to be a
out.
dad. That's just how it works. What was tougher, beating cancer or beating Bryson DeChambeau straight up?
Uh, Beating cancer was pretty hard. But every season in life that I've gone through, we've been able to celebrate, and this is one of them as well. I will also plug that I am grateful for Bryson DeChambeau. He has changed the trajectory of my life probably, and 2025 has been one of the greatest years in our family's history. So we're super, super grateful. I think the world of him, and he's been awesome to us and our family.
That's awesome. That's beautiful. We're going to cut that part out, but that was
Yeah,
beautiful.
I know
No,
you
I'm
are.
just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're, we're not cutting that out. We're not cutting that out. Now, for those that, if you watched the video, you saw that Jimmy beat testicular cancer. Was that like 5, 6 years ago?
Yep, yeah. So did chemo in 2019. Had a spot kind of move over to my lung that we got removed in 2022, but everything else has been great. All my scans, all my blood work since go for yearly checkups. It's all been great.
God bless you. That's beautiful to hear. Now, is it safe to say that the sleeve is missing a ball, or?
That that's safe to say.
Well, Jimmy, I always say less potatoes on the plate only makes the steak look bigger. So God bless you. Jimmy, congrats on winning the
Thank you.
hole in one over Bryson's house and then taking home the Reebok Invitational. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd just like to give you a few minutes to just go ahead, plug whatever you want. You already thanked Bryson. You want to thank him again? Thank him again. Thank whomever you want. Do whatever you want. Go.
Yeah, thank Bryson, thank Reebok for even for sponsoring the event. I think I really got to thank my wife. She's watching the sick kids in both videos. I didn't say this in the hole in one video. My son had the flu, and so I made this joke before. But if my kids are sick, I'm going to just call Bryson up. I think. So no, she's a champ and puts up with my golf addiction is what I call it, and so um, can't do it without her. She, staying home with the kids while I'm out there playing golf. So, and thank you to Grant. Just the five of them is basically like I was playing with my best friends. They were really, really, really awesome to play with. They made me super comfortable the whole time, and it's been a really fun year, a very memorable year, and just one I don't think I'll ever forget. Especially because now I'm getting to talk to you. I
I
mean,
mean,
how can
yeah,
I
it
forget
doesn't get any better
talking
than
to
that,
Yip?
right? I
Yeah,
mean,
I
who
mean, come on.
cares about that Bryson DeChambeau guy when you could sit down with Yip Strickler for 36 minutes? That's got to be one of the dreams you've always been thinking of. Jimmy, anyways, thank you, dude, so much for joining me. You didn't ramble once. I didn't have to interrupt you at all. You were a dynamite guest, absolutely dynamite. And thank you all for supporting my fight to save the game of net golf. Jimmy, you just friggin' nailed it. You nailed it.